Paul Love, attorney from Searcy, who Joe asked me, can he speak Saturday morning? He said he's one of us.
Yay.
And if my friend, attorney Joe Churchwell, says that this gentleman is one of us, that's all the recommendation I needed. So Paul will speak, and then I will speak.
Well, thank you for all coming out for this event in the cold weather. You know, one of the things that happens when you're fighting for children is you first feel like you're alone. It wasn't until I found Joe Churchwell that I found an ally who could help me to drain this swamp. Thank you, Joe, for all your legal advice. I'm an attorney in Searcy, Arkansas, and I want you to remember a quote that Hillary Clinton used in her concession speech, and that is, "Don't grow weary in doing good." Some people think that Jesus saved his worst condemnations, his harshest condemnations for the scribes and Pharisees, but he didn't. It was for the people who abused children. He said it would be better that a millstone be wrapped around their neck and they be thrown into the sea. And my warning to DHS and to the judicial system and the attorneys that protect DHS and its abuse is get ready to swim with a millstone tied around your neck. I'm so angry at what I discovered in this system. I'll tell you about overturning true findings. Joe will tell you that half of every true finding that's appealed is overturned. Well, Joe, I'm doing better than that. My batting average is I've overturned 2 out of 3. And I had to go up against a DHS that was well-funded. They had well-paid attorneys. And I'll tell you something about Joe. He's not doing it for the money. None of us are doing it for the money because there is no money to protect parents who are being abused by DHS. You got to do it out of the goodness of your heart. And it's hard work fighting these attorneys who have millions behind them. This one case cost the state of Arkansas, the taxpayers of Arkansas, about $30,000, and 2 of the 3 findings were false. I maintain they all were false. But why are we spending so much money protecting a system that is lying, that is corrupt, that's taking the money of the children and pretending with their good intentions that they're trying to protect the children? I've also learned, and Joe can correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that municipalities from the state down to your local city are immune from prosecution for the abuse of their workers. So if a DHS worker lies, cheats, and steals to take away your children, they cannot be prosecuted and the city cannot be prosecuted. There are no deep pockets for the parents. They don't expect the large $1 million verdicts that you can get out in Orange County in California. It's not going to happen here in Arkansas because the workers here are protected and they can do whatever they want and they know it. You can't fire them, although I have to say I managed to get 1 fired because of her abuse. There were other reasons that DHS gave for it, but she messed with the wrong person, not me. She messed with the will of God. I'll tell you the story briefly because I believe in being brief. And that is a 3-year-old boy who was in his mother's home. He was being sexually abused, and when we finally managed to get him drug tested, he had a higher meth count than any drug addict that the company had ever seen. And the courts ignored his needs. DHS entered the home of the mother, found nothing wrong. We finally managed to rescue the boy, and he's now living in a good, happy, safe family. But it was despite DHS. DHS is corrupt. It doesn't care about the children. It's paving a road to hell with its good intentions. It will tell you we're fighting for the children. And those are just good intentions. I want to close though with, there is a way to end the war between DHS and children. Out in White County, we have an organization called Cersei Children's Home, and it takes care of foster children and does more than just process them. It keeps them. It keeps records of them. It tracks them for years. And it goes into the preschools and the elementary schools and visits the children and makes sure they're not sitting in some neglected corner rocking themselves in despair over what's happened to them. And in every city and county and church, you've got to develop a parachurch organization that will work with DHS. Because when DHS knows that this parachurch organization out in White County is involved, suddenly the quality of care jumps up. These parachurch organizations, you need to start one in your own community and have them start working with DHS. And as soon as they know that there's people monitoring these children, suddenly things start working out. How many of you have parents in a nursing home? That's a horrible place if you've never visited one. The people in those nursing homes that get the best care are the people that get visits. As soon as they discover no one's looking, boy, it's amazing what neglect occurs. These children need to be monitored. I stumbled into this area just by accident, and I'm appalled at what I've discovered. And you should be as well. You should be angry, you should be upset, and you should be motivated to go into your own community and start a parachurch organization that will work with DHS. Monitor it and make sure that it doesn't do again what it's doing now. And whatever you do, make sure that DHS does not get more money, because they will use it to pay for high-priced attorneys to ruin your families. Thank you.